Good evening. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for another evening stream. Nani? Is something wrong with Rodney? Why is he streaming? Give me 1 second. Why is this man streaming at night? Is he okay? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, smash that like button. Your boy's okay here. But first of all, look at, I'm getting something set up here in the background here. I got to make sure the YouTube part of this is good. Okay, we're good to go. First of all, look at Vitalik. Vitalik trying to damn slide over here? Vitalik on a date trying to slide? You know, is that a bust down? Dude, Vitalik can afford anything he wants, right? Is he trying to slide? Trying to slip with the old Pringles can? We saw the pictures, Vitalik. I remember. Let's Google that. Let's see. Vitalik bulge. I remember the bulge. Look at this. I'm not trying to say, you know what I mean? Look, I'm just making an observation here, okay? Where's it at? We need a bigger picture of this bulge. My man's literally being a menace. I can't find it, but you guys remember the picture. Man's literally being a menace out here. This is actually Chad Vitalik right here. But Vitalik spotted on a date, man, trying to slide one time. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Smash that like button. How y'all doing? What's up? My man is packing heat. Now, cryptocurrency market is starting to recover. And of course, this comes after we realize that the banks are not getting bailed out, but they're getting bailed out. They're fucking getting bailed out. We'll watch some more videos about it later, but they're getting bailed out, right? And so obviously this is causing some sort of positive reaction in the cryptocurrency world and markets in general. Why? Because we think the money printers may be turned back on. We think that regardless of what numbers come out tomorrow, because tomorrow is a huge day when it comes to inflation, right? The CPI data comes out tomorrow. Regardless of what happens there, we think, right, Jerome's just, we're going to stop raising interest rates. You know, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares about the existence of the United States of America? Who cares about saving our currency, right? Fuck it. Let's print more money so I can pump my bags. Ladies and gentlemen, someone has to be the adult in the room. And Jerome is like, you know what? Although my name is Black and I'm not a black man, and most people, when they hear Jerome, they think I'm black. I'm not, okay? That has nothing to do with this point. But what I'm saying is he has to pretty much, you know, be like, no. You know, he has to be the adult in this situation. And the reason why they saved Silicon Valley Bank is because they wanted to help out their friends, right? But we could say it's for the greater good. A lot of companies were saved because the government stepped in, right? A lot of companies were saved because the government stepped in, right? So do me a favor, smash the like button. Let's get into this, baby. Let's have a good little nice evening stream, guys. And let me know how your day was. I know it's a little late for some people on the East Coast. It's 10:30 over there, but suck it up, Buttercup. Twitch Radio, good morning. How you doing, baby? Andrew, excuse me, good evening, Jesus. Crypto Art, good evening. Javi, we got the coffee, even though it's evening, Javi, but I got some water here, man. Love you, Javi. Javi, you have such a good vibe, man. Crypto Art, Mizzy Matt, what's up, that guy? How you doing, baby? Jay Linda, Patrick Collier, Slim Cheese, what's up, Jayhawk? And if you guys are not joining the Telegram, links to the Telegram is in the description down below. You can see me roast Jayhawk. Was it Rovalino? What's up, Rovalino? We have Bree. How you doing, baby? What's up, Bree? Bree's thumbnail game going crazy. Bree, if you send me an HD picture of yourself and then like send me like a nudes or not nudes, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking kidding, right? And then like a picture of what you're gonna eat. I'll find like a stock picture of that online and make a sick thumbnail for you. Maybe like a little template for you. Cycle Hunt, what's up, baby? Will Smith, Crypto Wealth, how you doing, baby? Mac Attack, Bud. Honda, what's up, baby? Luna Classic Family in the House. ShiftCon, Eric, what's up, baby? MPO7, how you doing? Boo this man. What's up, Andy Yang? How you doing? Khalil? Yeah, Jim Cramer is absolutely insane. Yeah, he's saying to sell Bitcoin. Well, you know, Khalil, I mean, this might be a small W from Jim, because what I'm thinking is that we might have the price dumped tomorrow, because I can't imagine CPI is going to be good. I mean, maybe it is. Who knows? But, you know, I don't know. What's up, Chaco? Did I say hi to everybody yet? Kid Henoch, what's up, baby? You're my favorite person, Kid Henoch. First of all, look at this funny ass shit Kid Henoch made. And we all know who this guy is. Isn't this creepy? That's so creepy, bro. Shout out to Kid Henoch, best memes in the game. What's up, Steve? How you doing? It's a bull trap, baby. I mean, it's, you know, look, it all signs point to this not being like natural. You know, it's crazy for me because, you know, I have a lot of people out there who are probably like who are the trader extraordinaires, we can say, right? And these motherfuckers, they thought shorting Bitcoin or shorting crypto was a layup until, especially after Janet Yellen's dumbass come out and say, yeah, there's no way we're bailing out big banks. Jerome's like, Janet, shut up. Biden's like, because Jerome, Biden and Yellen are all working together, right? Shut up, we're bailing them out, right? For the greater good or for their buddies. I don't fucking know. You know what's crazy about this whole thing, guys? This is all big club. We're not in it, right? Nothing fucking matters with us. I mean, a lot of us are going to get hyper rich. Some of us are going to get hyper rich. Some of us are not. We're just going to be normal plebs, whatever. But we're never going to be like on that elite status. At least not me and probably a bunch of people here. We're not going to be these politicians who get to fly in these jets to these islands and bang fucking underage people, right? I mean, not that you want to do that, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy the freaky things these guys do. They have these weird meetups and you know what I mean? And it's like it's like when Donald Trump was running for president and Hillary Clinton was running for president. It's like, dude, like they're all in the same team. Who cares who gets elected? I don't give a shit. They want to keep us fighting while they go around flying, banging. It's so crazy that one person or two people technically got in trouble for that whole debacle. Like, dude, that should have been a ring of people. Whoever's on that list should have been questioned heavily, right? Insane. What's up, Mr. Diamond Balls? How you doing, baby? I'm going to DM you on Twitter a video for your viewers. Depends what it is. You say that, Honda, but Trump's been a billionaire his entire life. He's not a typical politician, but he's still part of that club. It's like Dave Chappelle put it best on that comedy. The what is it called? The fucking what was that skit called? I don't know. It was open for Saturday Night Live. He talked about Trump is just the first guy to come out and say, yeah, everything they're doing in there is true. Like, yeah, the system is rigged against us little people, but they use the system, right? They use the system, right? So, all right, let's get into some of this. What's up, Tell Scott? But do you see the Shabarim got Wagme Temple? What do you mean, Sackle Hunt? I didn't see anything about that. All right, let me jump into some news a little bit before I get sidetracked here a little bit, but this is interesting. So, of course, this is some of the big, and guys, there's not a ton of news tonight, right? We're just going to hang out mostly tonight, but I want to cover some things, a little bit of updates here. So I thought this was an interesting article that really came out late, but it says Bitcoin surges as bank client rescues bank client rescue eases contagion fears, fuels hope for Fed dovishness. Binance's 1 billion conversion helps too. So let's talk about some of those things. So, of course, Bitcoin and crypto surges. Why? Well, one of the big people that were affected by, Silicon Valley Bank going down, of course, was Circle or, USDC. What's up, Michael J. Phoenix? How you doing, baby? What's up, Jeremy? How you doing? Bud? And of course, we know that this thing went down to 87 cents and it's now up to pretty much $1, right? We could say it's been pegged here. That's fine. That's good enough for me, right? We want to be $1, but that's good enough for me. And obviously, if a bank goes down, right? A bank goes down, and there's going to be contagion. It'd be the second largest bank collapse of all time, right? If that goes down, well, then there's going to be contagion. In the markets, all the markets are going to dump, and cryptocurrency is part of this cryptocurrency it's not dirtling and doing its own thing anymore. Ever since the pandemic, cryptocurrency's been pretty much doing what the market does. It got more attention, more people are in it, it's available in more places, so regular traders, degenerates, investors alike can treat it like they can access it easier. It's not back in the day where you had to jump through all these kind of hoops and do all these sorts of things to buy Bitcoin. It's like, no, you just open a fucking Robinhood account and buy some Bitcoin, like literally, what I mean? It's easy to get to. So now it's starting to trade like the normal stock markets or risky assets, like which are tech stocks, right? Now, Silicon Valley Bank was responsible for a lot of the tech startups. So if Silicon Valley Bank goes down, right? And keep in mind, if you held the stock of Silicon Valley Bank or any bank, you're fucked, right? You're not going to get your money back. I mean, HSBC bought it for $1, like in the UK or some shit like that. But the depositors are going to be insured for everything, not just $250,000. I'm hearing for everything, right? So that's good because a lot of these little startups out there, like sometimes no matter how good your product is, sometimes you only get one chance at these things, right? And it's a big tech thing. So that bank being saved really sent crypto into the stratosphere, right? We pumped like 20% this morning, 25, something crazy. Those are like bull run numbers in a day. Those are like bull run numbers. 20% pump in a day is absolutely insane. So we saw this huge cryptocurrency rally, which is fantastic, right? Now, this fuels hopes for Fed dovishness. I don't think so. They're saying we don't need to print money to bail out these banks. Okay, maybe I don't know how that works. Maybe I'm too stupid. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? Whatever. I don't think this stops the plan for Jerome Powell at all. I think he has clear eyes. I think he says, okay, this is happening, but we still need to make sure our currency isn't worthless, right? We don't suffer from hyperinflation. So what do we have to do? We have to stick to the plan. And that depends on the CPI data, right? And then, and it's like people are forgetting that, right? And of course, Binance's $1 billion conversions help too. So of course, Binance CZ. Like, here's the thing about all this. Literally, they go after Binance, insolvent, blah, 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 blah. You know, blah, blah, blah. Binance has insane runs on the exchange, and they're fine. USDC Circle tells the SEC, oh, but BUSD isn't pegged to it. You know, they don't have all the things to back their crypto. You know, they're faking their balance sheet, whatever. Loses half its market cap and doesn't depeg from $1 once. In fact, yesterday it was trading $1.01. This whole time, CZ is sitting in the corner like, fucking told you so. So if you guys didn't know, after the collapse of Terra Luna, before the collapse of FTX, Binance and FTX were kind of acting like the Federal Reserve or just big government of crypto because they were trying to bail projects out. CZ and Sam McMahon tried to help a lot of failing cryptocurrency projects. It didn't work out, right? Now, but what they did do is start a fund. Now, what's interesting about that fund was a lot of it was also in BUSD, but now they're going to convert all that into BNB, ETH, and Bitcoin. And to me, you know, maybe I'd say 6 months ago before all this Binance flood, I think those were like one of my top 3 DCAs. You know what I mean? Yeah, CZ just chilling over here like, yeah, you want to say we're insolvent? And look at exchanges have a bigger look here. Here's the FUD for exchanges. We don't know what their liabilities are technically. Not all of them. Coinbase, yeah, but not Binance, right? Because it's not a U.S. company. Maybe not even Crypto.com, right? Crypto.com operates out of Singapore. Binance operates out of, I think, Dubai. I don't fucking know, right? But Binance.com, Binance US, obviously here, you know, it's an American company. But we don't know what their liabilities are. But unlike banks, there's a proof of reserve for cryptocurrency exchanges. They show that, hey, our customers say they have $11 billion of crypto in our exchange. We have $11 billion to reimburse them in case anything happens. Because the function of a cryptocurrency exchange isn't to take your money. For example, say Chaka gave me $100. I'm FUDing the exchange. I'm like, all right, Chaka, thanks for the $100. Give me a little fee. I'll take a $2 fee for this transaction, and you know, I'll see you when you need the money back. But while Chaka's over there living his life, I'm fucking shooting rolling dice like that video we saw SBF, right? That I forgot his name, but he made anyways. I'm over here gambling. I only have $50. Chaka comes and says, "Hey man, I need to withdraw my $100 again." I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I only have $50 of that. Can you wait?" He was like, "No, it's my money." So in exchange, their purpose is, here's my money. You give me crypto. Great. You know what I mean? And we hold it for you, right? And if you want, you can do what you want. And when you want to come and get it and redeem it for cat, whatever, we can do that for you, right? Because we're an exchange. That's what we're supposed to do. So exchanges have a proof of reserves. Well, banks, they don't have to do that because of the fractional reserve. Right? Obviously, it's like incredibly like unrealistic to have a bank have all somebody's funds in it at every single point, especially these small mom and pop shop banks, right? Like there's no way like these small little banks can have everybody's money at the same time. So just in case shit hits the fan, you know, we have FDIC insurance on $250K of that money, you know, so crypto actually it's actually harder for exchange. You know, they can't just be like, oh, you know, there's no insurances. And that's the downside of crypto. You know what I mean? But at least there's a little more transparency in some of these people, if you want to believe them, right? You know, but yeah, exactly. So Jay Michael says liabilities are important. It's like if you have $5 billion in assets, but $10 billion in liabilities, like, well, then it's like you're minus $5 billion. You know what I mean? It is important, right? It is important, super important. Okay. Now, this was a very interesting article too. So we know that Silvergate Bank went down, right? And Silvergate Bank was known for, hey man, taking a chance on cryptocurrency banks or cryptocurrency exchanges. Another bank, Signature, went down, and this is what they said. They said a member says regulators shut down the bank to send, quote, a strong anti-crypto message. Now, is this a coordinated attack on crypto? And if so, why Silicon Valley Bank, though? I don't get that one. I just think that this may be some kind of weird contagion. Let's read this article because it's very, very important, right? So it says right here, CNBC reported one Signature Bank board member opinion that the closure was a, quote, a very strong anti-crypto message from regulators. Moreover, the bank's failure to join Silicon Valley Bank and Silvergate, three of the most prominent crypto banks in the industry. Bank's failure. Okay, banks. So, of course, we're talking about Silvergate going down in Silicon Valley. In a statement made by the Federal Reserve regarding aid to depositors of the Silicon Valley Bank crisis, it was revealed Signature Bank was closed by New York regulators. Conversely, it appears ulterior motives regarding the digital asset industry could have come into play. This is interesting. This seems like an attack on crypto. All signs point to it, right? It says the fall of Silicon Valley Bank was among the most surprising developments in the banking industry. The financial institution failure indicated the largest since the financial crisis of 2008, yet was followed by the closing of Signature Bank by New York regulators, according to a statement from the Federal Reserve. Now, as new details emerge, Signature Bank board member Barney Frank says the closure was a, quote, a strong anti-crypto message from regulators, specifically considering Silvergate SBV as Signature were prominent banks in the crypto space. Interesting. But the thing about SVB is, like, I know that a lot of it or most of it wasn't crypto, right? So that's important to understand. I think BlockFi was one of the top 5 people affected. So that is true. So, but the rest weren't, right? I think it was a Roku and a few other brands, right? If any of you guys can remember, we looked at it last night. It says the failure of Signature Bank signified the third largest bank failure in U.S. history. Moreover, CNBC noted it was being taken over to protect its depositors and stability of the U.S. financial system, which is fucking nuts. We just raised the debt. We are $31 trillion in fucking debt. It's crazy. This is nuts. Makes me so mad because crypto, like, I've met so many people in cryptocurrency has given them the chance to just get ahead in life, including myself. Literally live lives they never thought they could from buying a shit coin. You know what I mean? And it seems like they're doing everything they can to fuck it up. But in their defense, there has been so many scams, right? With the people having their lives changed, there's people many lives have been ruined too. So there is that, right? It's all centralization issue though, right? It's all a centralization issue, to be honest. Okay. Frank has stated the surprise of the closure, and as the bank had 40 branches, assets of $110 billion, and deposits of $88 billion at the end of 2022, according to a regulatory filing. Additionally, Frank noted that there was no indication that closure was on the horizon. That's crazy. So check this out. Quote, we had no indication of problems until we got a deposit run late Friday, which was purely contagion from SBV. So maybe, regulators saw this as a chance to shut down this bank after, SVB went down. Frank told CNBC. Subsequently, CNBC notes that the fall of crypto-focused Silvergate led venture capital investors to pull assets out of Silicon Valley Bank on Thursday. Thus, the bank went into a receivership the next day, following the Signature's closure days later. So maybe Silvergate going down, because we remember that Coinbase and Crypto.com ended their, business with Silvergate. Maybe, that was the first domino. SBV is a huge domino. Like, Silvergate's a smaller domino and just knocks down this big ass domino, which would knock down a fuck ton of dominoes. But now we know, since the government stepping in, literally, like, all the contagion's done for. It's gone. It's out of existence, right? So that's very, very important. So those are pretty much the 3 biggest topics. But I do want to talk about, that's funny, Vitalik's Bull just Googled. I do want to watch the CoffeeZilla video on it, 7 minutes. And we got to watch the clear value tax video on it, because it's very, very eye-opening on what's going to happen in the days to come. And let's just go over some of these topics. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Wow. Citadel CEO says U.S. capitalism is breaking down before our eyes after the Federal Reserve rescues Silicon Valley Bank. That is true. Because what is capitalism, right? Capitalism is, hey, man, you go out there, you make it or you don't make it, right? But we have the government stepping in to save these big corporations time after time. Where are they when you need help, though? Right? Where are they when these mom and pop shops get fucking wrecked because we have a virus that, obviously we didn't know at the time how serious it was. We got these asshole politicians breaking all the rules. While these mom and pop shops, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They need to operate, month to month to make their rent on the places they live or they operate out of. What about those? So many businesses got destroyed during the pandemic. Yeah, there were PPP loans if you could get them. A lot of people got them illegally or lied about it and got arrested for it. But those are those opportunities. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to me. It's like, we want to rescue these big fucking banks who do all this shady shit. But when it comes to the average Joe, we don't do anything. Like, literally, we don't do anything. Zero. We just rub some dirt on it. You know what I mean? Crazy. All right, I'm going to watch this video from Mr. Diamond Hands on Silicon Valley Bank. Let me make sure it's... Let's see. It's just I'm getting pissed off now. It makes me mad. God damn it. How the fuck do I? All right, let's do this. Fuck it. You guys can read my DMs. I don't give a shit. All right, let's go.
What do you mean the bank is out of money?
Okay. Insolvent? You only have enough cash for the next 3 customers? Hey, God, just a second here. No, I don't have your money here. It's in Bill's house and Fred's house.
Hey, what the hell you doing with my money in your house, Fred?
Well, this is a typical bank run. I don't think this is like predicting the future, but this is like that's what happens in a bank run, right? You know what I mean? You know, it's crazy. We've been using the term bank run in crypto so much that you know, we just forget that it's actually a run on the bank. You know what I mean? Let me say what's up to the chat and chat a little bit. Exactly, Chaka. Bitcoin's the truth, man. Bitcoin's truly decentralized, and I hope it never becomes controlled by anybody, right? Well, what's up, JTG? How you doing? Yeah, and then Biden's proposing he wants to double capital gains taxes. That affects everyone in crypto. Guys, if you have a crypto investment, you know how we get taxed ridiculously right now? He wants to double that. He also wants to give a 30% increase on electricity bills from miners, crypto miners. It's going to push people elsewhere. I know it's energy intensive, but man, 30%? Golly, on anything, and then double capital gains taxes? You know, you want to pull out 100K of your crypto that you made? All right, double those taxes. You know, a lot of these things don't apply to us, a lot of these rules and regulations, but these ones do specifically, right? It's crazy. Michael says, scams has nothing to do with it. Access to wealth by the common man means less power for the elite, as people will continue to educate and empower themselves. Can't allow that to happen. That's so true, man. So true. All they want to do is divide and conquer right now. They want to make us hate each other. They want to make us be either blue or red. They're like, who did you vote for? And they want to make us identify with some political party. All the while, these motherfuckers are laughing straight to the bank, eating steaks together, clinking glasses, creating generational wealth for themselves. And they're all part of the same damn team. Right? They are part of the same thing. It's like Hillary Clinton, right? Oh, Donald Trump doesn't pay his fair share in taxes. He said it makes me smart. If you guys know anything about business, which I'm learning the last couple of years, it is smart to know how to get there are legal ways, completely legal ways to make yourself pay little to no taxes if you know what to do, right? There's so many write-offs for business people. There's so many. The average 9-to-5 worker, the 40-hour-a-week employee, which I've been most of my life, literally, you can never get ahead. It seems that way. And rich, smart people either hide their money offshores, which you don't do because I'm not sure if that's legal or not, or they figure out ways to game the system. It's not breaking the law, it's gaming the system, right? They just do it because they can. They have access to that sort of thing. When you're making millions and millions of dollars a year, or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you want to keep all that money. You don't want to get half of it taxed. It's different when you're the one making the money, right? And then when the other people are not making it, say, oh, tax the rich. And it's like, what about you? Like, what if you created a company and you're making $1 million a year? You want 50% of that or 40% of that gone? That's a lot of money. You know, so when they had that little debate and Hillary's like, yeah, you're not paying your fair share of taxes, change the tax code. And Donald Trump said, that makes me smart. He said, he said, even if you get elected, you're not going to change the tax code because you and your friends use the same damn tax code. Because you know why? Because corporations run the world, not these politicians, right? So it's like, it's all the same club, right? Altcoin says they're trying to discredit the crypto market because the masses are waking up to the corruption of the monetary system. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. $31 trillion in debt. You know, and the IRS is like, oh, you asked the IRS, how much do I owe you? They said, I don't know. What do you think? Don't guess wrong, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm on one now. I'm on one tonight. I'm on one. Pepe, you're wild. Yeah, it makes you want to move away. What's up, Queen? How you doing, baby? Yeah, crypto tech. So the Coinbase CEO, Brian Armstrong, he made a big statement. He's like, dude. He's like, hey, all these crazy strict rules and regulations is gonna push all the talent. It's gonna push all of the talent out of the United States. All these crazy laws that were dropping the hammer down, ruling with an iron fist, charging people out the ass, for capital gains on crypto. crippling these exchanges, which some need to be, but some like KuCoin. Why? It's like you're pushing all the talent that wants to, study the blockchain and learn about the blockchain. You're pushing them all out of the United States. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Honda with a $2 donation. Thank you so much. Says, if Trump did this, you'd never hear the end of it. Well, I don't like to play the political games. I don't think they're both perfect human beings. I think Trump, although I do support his policies way more, and I like the way he handled us when it comes to dealing with other countries, I just think he was a jackass on social media. Highly entertaining. I'll tell you that. But he's just kind of a jackass. You know what I mean? Like, just stop fucking tweeting and just lead more, right? If he just talked less. But he gets shit done because he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He gets shit done. He's not a politician. He gets shit done. He's a businessman, so he got shit done. People didn't like the way he talked. He's vulgar. You know what I mean? He's not a suit and tie kind of person. I respect that. Not a lot of people like that kind of thing. They like a Barack Obama type who's like charismatic and happy and nice, but will fucking fuck you behind your back. People like that shit. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a person fuck me, face to face. You know what I mean? I appreciate the honesty and the way he kind of led that. I feel like he just should get the fuck off of social media when it came to Trump, right? Joe Biden is just an absolute joke, right? A joke. An absolute joke. We look like clowns up there, right? Got an orange man with the funny hair. Then we have Joe Biden dying in front of our eyes. Kamala in the back, warming up, stretching out, getting ready to jump in any minute now. So we're just like clowns, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Smash the like button. We're at 40 likes, guys. Let's get to 100 likes for the night's over. All right, let's watch this video before I get all mad and start fighting a motherfucker. Let's start watching the CoffeeZilla video on the banks are collapsing because he goes over the situation. We know about it, but let's get a timeline. We've been covering the entire thing. Let's get a good timeline. And plus, we know we got to pump the stock and support our boy CoffeeZilla.
Two of the largest bank failures in history happened this week. But before we talk about why, I have a question. Why is Jim Cramer so good at being so bad at his job?
Poor Jim.
Just months before they both collapsed, he said this.
These are never, ever talked about. Why? Because they're too boring? I like to make money.
Thank you,
boring
Patrick.
is good. Watch out for Signature Bank. That's my fave. SVB Financial. Don't you want? This company's a merchant bank with a deposit base that Wall Street has been mistakenly concerned about. This morning, we witnessed the second largest bank failure in American history.
Poor
which
Cramer.
created a wave of
Poor
fear
Cramer. I feel bad for the man.
as the day went on. Hence, the Dow ultimately losing 345 points, S&P falling 1.45%, and the Nasdaq tumbling 1.76%.
Now, I have to admit, he has a way with sound effects. Now I understand why they call it mad money. But there is one thing Jim Cramer isn't wrong about, which I know is shocking. Fear is in the air, and many are worrying, is my bank safe? So today I thought we'd break it all down, the recent collapses, why the government has announced a special bailout, why some people are happy with it and others are mad, and, of course, what's next. Let's start with the facts. 3 major banks in the United States have failed in a short period of time: Silvergate, Signature Bank, and Silicon Valley Bank. Now, Silvergate was the smallest with about $11 billion in assets. Signature was like the mid-sized one, and Silicon Valley Bank was the largest. Now, Silvergate and Signature Bank were well known in the crypto space, while Silicon Valley Bank was massive in the tech startup world. However, despite their differences, these banks failed for similar reasons at a high level, which is this. They all experienced a run on the banks when too many people demand too much money too fast, and the banks don't have cash on hand. Now, I want to make something clear. It would be easy to draw the comparison to the crypto crash in 2022 when several crypto companies like FTX collapsed, but there's an important difference. Companies like FTX were insolvent. When there was a run on their banks, they had no money to give. Whereas the banks we're talking about were illiquid, meaning they had the money, but when they had the bank run, some of it was locked up in long-term assets like bonds. Now, to be clear, these are not the same things at all. But things can get a little fuzzy in the details. For example, when a bank run happens, what can start as a liquidity problem can become an insolvency problem if the bank has to sell what they have for cash. And let me explain. One of the safest investments is considered to be treasury bonds. Your grandparents probably invest in it. Banks invest in them, both for the same reason. They provide a stable rate of return. So say you're Signature Bank, right? You've got billions of dollars in customer assets. Where do you put it? Well, into treasury bonds, which let's say earn you 1% a year. You keep some cash on hand for withdrawals, but you figure, look, if I need to sell these, I can sell my bonds, right? But what happens if interest rates rise really quickly? Well, suddenly you have this 5-year bond you bought a year ago, which gives you 1% a year. But now the government is selling the same 5-year bond and offering 5%. Because of that, now your bond's value on the open market drops. It's no longer even worth what you paid for it because it's giving less interest than other bonds. And so if you try to sell that, well, now you lose money. Now, to be clear, if you held the bond to maturity, well, you would still make that 1% and not lose anything. But when depositors are asking for cash, it's simply not an option to hold on. Now, I know that seems complicated, but the essence of it is this. Banks were forced to sell long-term assets that they didn't want to sell, like bonds, and they took losses because of these bank runs. Because of that, what started as a liquidity crisis became an insolvency crisis, and that's why they got shut down, because they weren't going to be able to service all those withdrawals. So
that's an interesting difference right there, because when we think of like these banks, because the cryptocurrency exchanges are supposed to just hold your crypto one-to-one, right? Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. But with the banks, and what we saw with FTX is that they were doing shady shit with your money, which was gambling and whatnot. Now, obviously, with banks, you don't see them, buying bonds and those sorts of things as gambling. But the truth is that they don't have all your money there at once for people to get, right? And obviously, holding cash is not good for anyone. It's like they have to invest it in those sorts of things because of inflation, especially right now, right? Inflation's so bad. So a lot of people are like, why don't you have the cash on hand? It's like, what point, you know what I mean? What point? It's crazy. It's crazy to just having a bunch of cash when inflation's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So let's continue. That's why banks give like such like low, returns for, keeping your money in a savings account. Cause that's like all they can really do.
So now what, right? Doesn't the government
really
guarantee bank deposits? Why are we even talking about this? Well, they kind of do. The FDIC insures up to $250,000 per account. However, at places like Silicon Valley Bank, they had a lot of accounts with a lot more than that. Because as we spoke of, they hosted a lot of venture capital startups that might have had anywhere from 10 to 50 million.
Circle. So these are the big ones. Circle, of course. Hey, damn, 3.3 billion our USDC folk. Roku, BlockFi, Roblox, right? Jinko. I don't know. I know Payoneer, so I know Payoneer. I know Lending Club. Wow, that's crazy. Of course, BlockFi and all kinds of shit, right?
Dollars in there. And suddenly that company, which was healthy yesterday, now can't get access to that money and can't meet payroll because their bank had failed. And this triggered a huge response from many in Silicon Valley to call for depositors to have their money guaranteed, with people like Jason Calacanis saying, you should be absolutely terrified right now. That is the proper reaction to a bank run and contagion. Guarantee all deposits up to $10 million or this will spiral into chaos. And comments like this sparked a huge debate on whether the government should or would get involved. Ultimately, with the answer coming on Sunday when the U.S. Treasury said this, quote, depositors will have access to all of their money. And there you have it. The U.S. government is stepping in to save not only Silicon Valley Bank, but also Signature Bank as well. They did this citing a systemic risk exception, which really boils down to a single idea. Please don't panic, guys. Please don't take out your money. Exactly, ultimately, the U.S. government doesn't want you worried about your bank deposits. However, not everyone saw this as a win. Many were quick to point out that once again, the government only seems to step in to help a certain type of person. Quote, Mark Cuban, bail out Silicon Valley Bank tonight. Feds, approved. Goldman Sachs needs $824 billion. Approved. JP Morgan Chase needs $416 billion. Approved. Average Joe, my wife has cancer. Can we get Medicare? We're broke. Now, I do have to tell you that those in favor of the Fed's actions will tell you that this is an unfair characterization, that it's not the super rich getting bailed out. They'll point out that this isn't a traditional bailout at all because it only applies to the depositors and that executives and shareholders will get nothing. And that sounds good, except for the fact that some executives and shareholders in Silicon Valley Bank have already cashed out.
Oh,
with
they did.
Greg Becker, the CEO, selling $3.6 million worth of his shares right before their collapse. And this gets even worse when you consider that Greg Becker was one of the people who lobbied to deregulate his own bank. According to Heather Landy of Quartz, quote, the ability of these banks to fly under the radar in the U.S. was no accident. Greg Becker, SVB's CEO, lobbied U.S. officials several years ago to raise the asset threshold at which banks would be considered systemically important. So let's get this straight. They faced less regulatory scrutiny because they weren't systemically important, according to them. But when everything goes wrong, they're systemically risky and must be bailed out. It's a classic case of wanting it both ways. Now, again, this isn't the same as the full bailouts we saw in 2008. And regardless of whether you land on whether there should have been or should not have been a bailout, the idea that systemically risky banks should get special treatment and regular banks, I guess, don't, sends a pretty clear signal. If you're rich, you should move your money into banks that are too big to fail. Otherwise, you run a systemic risk of ending up on Jim Cramer, feeling like this.
Oh my God, hit him with that heat. Oh my God. Well, actually, see, George, I can't be looking at you in HD, my man. My God, George. Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know he cashed. So here's the thing. Depositors, so people that put their money in these banks are gonna be okay, right? Obviously, and some of those are big corporations, fine, whatever. But shareholders are not. Now, some of these executives obviously own a large share of the company. Why are they selling millions of dollars before the collapse? Why are they doing that? Did they know something was going to happen? Ooh! This guy is misleading you. Inverse Kramer. Ooh, wait, CoffeeZilla? What are you talking about? Absolutely crazy, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, that's what happened with Alex Mashinsky and Celsius. Like his wife, like sold a bunch of Celsius too. Like something crazy like that. Look at these motherfuckers. Sorry, wife has cancer. Can't give you health care. Sorry, government can't afford it. Big banks. Oh yeah. That's not capitalism, right? We always like make fun of China because they have like a funny form of communism, right? But it's crazy, right? It's crazy. No, Sean, I'm not a big technical analysis guy. In fact, I think technical analysis on crypto is pretty dumb. Unless it's like Bitcoin. Anything else is pretty dumb. Especially right now with all this like news that like is all this news that is like, because yeah, some of crypto is technical analysis, but a lot of it is just news and emotions. Like shorting the market would have been a fantastic idea if Saturday night. Sunday night, absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Because we didn't think we would bail out a big bank like that. Because yeah, it's a big bank, guys, but check this out. Let's see. Here are the 10 largest banks. We have JP Morgan, $3.3 trillion, Bank of America, Citibank, Wells Fargo, US Bank, PNC, Trust Bank, Goldman, TD Bank, Capital One. So we don't even have it up there. So we didn't think that it would get some sort of bailout, but they didn't want any, like right now we're trying to deal with inflation. They didn't want any more kind of contagion, you know? Very, very interesting. Oh, you can't chart crypto. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so either, but why do I have a fucking someone got you a membership, Sean? So you're a member like either way. So one of us. So I don't know if you don't like it. Well, you're gonna have to like it. You're a member now, Sean. All right, Sean, you're one of us now. Okay, so keep the eggplant. Do what you want with it. I'm not gonna judge, bro. You know what I mean? All right, let's watch Clear Value Tax and see what he has to say about the situation because he honestly looks super confused.
In today's video,
well, Tiob says good TA, but I just don't think it's that reliable.
Talking about the bank bailouts and what this means for the stock market as well as for the federal.
And Hobbs also does TA on like traditional markets and stuff like that. Like if you want to get into that, I just think like new cryptos, like small cap cryptocurrencies with $10 million market caps, it's absolutely dumb and dim to do technical analysis on that. And we see a lot of people doing that. Like, oh, I told you this would happen. But it's like, okay, yeah, you and the rest of the TA guys. Hobbs does other stuff too. Let's continue.
Reserve. So a lot of people, I would say most people, are interpreting this situation incorrectly. So I want to step in and I want to shed my perspective on the situation.
The voice of reason, right? The voice of reason.
So first, let's get on the same page. The U.S. government, so we're talking about the Treasury departments, and then you have the FDIC, and then you have the Federal Reserve. They are tag teaming up. So it's like a Marvel movie. It's like, okay, instead of Iron Man and the Hulk, you have Jerome Powell, you have President Biden, and you have Janet Yellen, and they're trying to save the world instead of trying to save the world, they're trying to save the banking system. So their mission is that they cannot let the banks fail. So the rule is that any money that you have in the bank, up to $250,000, is insured, the FDIC insurance. If a bank goes under, then, okay, if you have 250K or under, then you're going to get your money back. It might be a hassle, but you're going to end up eventually getting that money back. Now they're extending that protection to, it's limitless, to infinity and beyond. They're saying technically they're not. They're saying that they're setting up a lending facility where the banks can pledge their assets for liquidity. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's special treatments for the banks,
100%,
which is a privilege and protection for people and entities with over $250,000. But I just want to say this. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest here. What was going to happen is that the private equity firms, they were going to lose a lot of money. And the politicians of the Federal Reserve were basically saying that we cannot let that happen. You know, their friends and their donors, they need to be made whole. So failure is not an option. So Ali M., I would say he described it best. I couldn't have said it better. He said that profits are privatized and losses are socialized. So taxpayers will foot the bill with more inflation. I understand what they're saying. I understand what they're saying with FDIC. I know what President Biden said, but in reality, this is a bailout.
Yeah, 100%.
But also, you know what this means? This means that the banking contagion is now over. The government and the Federal Reserve, they are backstopping the banks. There's no more threats of a run on the banks. The media is saying, well, there's still a chance that there might be a run on the banks. No, there's not. The government just intervened. I mean, what does the media not understand? Okay, now here's
I love when he gets pissed like that, by the way. What's up, DJ? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Yeah, Big Short's great, man. It's a good movie. If you guys haven't seen The Big Short, watch The Big Short. I think it's if you guys didn't know, on YouTube, YouTube movies, you can literally rent like most movies on YouTube for like $3. It's crazy. Let's continue.
Here's another misunderstanding. The media is saying that the system broke, that our financial system broke. This means that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates on March 22nd. That's what they're saying. That's what they're hinting. I would say that's wrong. The Fed's decision will not be based on what happened on Thursday or Friday or what happened over the weekend. What happened just a few days ago, that's really just an inconvenience to the Federal Reserve, but it's not going to be enough to move the needle. So when Jay Powell...
And this is why this can be a trap, right? Because going into this week, before we got all this, the whole banks collapsing and stuff like that, we figured that the market was going to dump because we do think, right? We do think that inflation's it's not going to look good for inflation, right? We'll see tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow morning's Coffee and Crypto is going to be a very big deal. We'll see tomorrow morning, right? But, you know, what's pumping the market like this and why people think this is a huge trap is because of what we think is going to happen this week. And the only reason why it's pumping is because USDC got saved pretty much, right? And of course, you know, Signature Bank, got saved and those sorts of things. Let's continue.
Powell was testifying before Congress about inflation and interest rates. The expectation was that the Federal Reserve would raise interest rates by 0.5% on March 22nd. There was an 80% chance of that happening. So that's what the market was saying. After Silicon Valley Bank and the bank bailouts, the chance of a 0.5% interest rate increase has now fallen to 0%. So from 80%
to 0%. That's crazy.
The current odds are a 24% chance of
no interest rate
increases on March 22nd, a 76% chance of a 0.25% increase. So in my opinion, as I said before, the Federal Reserve will be going with 0.25% on March 22nd. the Federal Reserve, they cannot afford to pause right now with CPI inflation above 6%. They just can't. They can't afford to do that. Their decision is going to be based off the inflation reports. That's it. It's as simple as that. So I'm not gonna discount the importance of the jobs reports, because that is giving us clues on how the services X housing component of CPI inflation will be. However, it ultimately boils down to the inflation reports, whether that's going to be CPI or PCE. I mean, you can take your pick. The Fed says that they prefer to look at PCE inflation, but they still reference headline CPI inflation. They also, they cite core CPI inflation a lot as well. So tomorrow's report, that's going to be the final piece of the puzzle. That's going to be the last clue on what the Fed's decision, what their decision will be on March 22nd. So what we're witnessing right now, right here, right now with the bank bailouts, this is just a sideshow. So ultimately what I'm saying is that it's too early for the Federal Reserve to pause. Inflation needs to decrease.
Guys, his name is Clear Value Tax right here, and I'm actually part of his Patreon. Of course, I don't share any information from his Patreon. He has extra content in there. Not a lot of crypto stuff, a lot of traditional tax stuff in there. But it's a way for me to support him, because we watch a lot of his videos here because he's helped us out a lot, right? Clear Value Tax. And he has a lot of stuff on actual taxes too. So if you're doing your own taxes this year, which I am, watch this guy.
Further, they need to see more progress. I think the 24% odds, that is way too high.
Crazy to me.
I would say that's way too high for a pause. So the question is, how much more progress does the Fed need to see? Well, we're going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow is the February CPI inflation report, so it's kind of a big deal.
But they're going out to PPI, he mentioned.
So let's talk about the expectations for tomorrow. Services inflation is still running hot. This was evident in the February jobs reports. And I want to add that January was revised, the January jobs reports. People were hoping for a big revision in January, but the revision, it was basically close to nothing. January was 517,000 jobs added. It was revised down to 504,000. So basically nothing, which is bad for inflation. February came in hot at 311,000 jobs added. That was way above expectations. The expectations were 225,000 jobs added.
Jesus.
So I would not call that a softening in the labor market, which is what the Federal Reserve is hoping to see. They want to see that, but that's not what they got. So more clues. You take a look at energy. Energy was flat. Food inflation, that was flat. And shelter, which is the biggest component, that's the largest component in the CPI report. For now, all I want to tell you is that the shelter component, that is very deceptive. It was at 7.9% in January. Shelter inflation, it's not going to come down extremely fast. It's not possible. It's because of the way they calculate it. So when you compare shelter inflation in the CPI reports compared to reality, it's slower to rise and it's slower to fall. So I'm going to explain this further, shelter inflation. I'm going to explain it further in an upcoming video, in a housing video. But we're not going to see the bigger progress in shelter inflation in the CPI reports for a few more months. I would say 3 to 4 months. So that is my expectation to see the bigger gains in that component. But even then, it's going to be a gradual decline. It's not going to be a steep fall. So with that being said, I believe that the CPI inflation report tomorrow, it will be lackluster. The expectation, honestly, is pretty optimistic. Analysts are saying that it's going to fall from 6.4% in January to 6.0% in February.
That'd be a nice.
So I don't know about that. I
don't think so.
I think that's very optimistic. I think that the actual results, the headline CPI inflation, it comes in above expectations. So hotter inflation than expected. And that's obviously not going to be good for the Federal Reserve, their decision that they're going to have to make on March 22nd. So regarding this whole bank bailout situation.
Congratulations on being 1 month back, Jake. Appreciate you. Synergy Dow. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for being a general. I appreciate you. That silver eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name, sir.
I am not surprised. And
50.
this does not This does not affect my initial assessment of the situation, which I gave a long time ago. This does not change my opinion on the economy, neither on the stock market or the Federal Reserve's decision-making process. There's still going to be more bankruptcies. There are going to be a lot more bankruptcies. There will be more layoffs. But the people in charge, they prefer to have those bankruptcies and those layoffs occur in the fields outside of private equity and banking. So I'm just keeping it real here.
Hell yeah, they do.
So listen, I hope this information has been helpful. If you haven't realized it by now, if you're investing in the stock market, you're not trying to predict the stock market. What you're trying to do overall, just in general, is that you're trying to predict what the hell the Federal Reserve is going to do next. Because that's what this all boils down to. The Federal Reserve, they make up the rules, and their decisions, obviously, it has the most substantial impact on the direction of the bond market, the stock market, the housing market, the economy, even the cryptocurrency markets. Yep. So if you just think about it, who are we kidding? That's what this all boils down to. This is what we're dealing with, and this is the reality of the situation. If you want more exclusive content on stocks and crypto, please come check out our Patreon. We just closed a very nice position for a 20% gain in 8 weeks. We also have a great Discord where you can chat, you can learn. We're just basically helping each other out. Thank you for all the support, and I wish you a very nice day. Please take care.
I do have his, I am his Patreon. I do recommend it. But yeah, I mean, it makes, it seems like we have this, no one pays attention to it, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. That's true, Steve. That is true. We know the Federal Reserve is. I mean, maybe they are playing the same game, though. You know what I mean? They're doing what they see big banks that are gonna fail, and they're gonna hop in, right? But I think it's like a real practical kind of point of view, right? Shut up, Slim Cheeses. How do you get those gains, Rodney? I'm curious. What gains? What do you mean? Did you get those gains, Rodney? I'm curious. Wait, what do you mean? What gains? Did you get those gains, Rodney? We talking about Choco? What gains you talking about? Huh? Weight loss has been in full effect. Man, I gained a lot of weight the last like 6 to 8 months. Feels good though. It's good to be a fat boy. Now getting thin for the summer is going to be interesting. But steroids, guys, I don't take steroids. You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. Patrons make money. And guys, keep in mind, we do have a Telegram. Come hang on the Telegram. You have to deal with ugly Jayhawk in there. But besides that, it's actually a pretty fun, positive experience. If you just ignore Jayhawks in there and just ignore his face, Rodney eating booty shots. Ooh, baby. Tongue punching fart boxes all day, baby. Yeah. So tomorrow morning is going to be very, very interesting. What do you guys think? What do you think? 50, 25, 0%? People are out of their damn mind, bro. El Diablo says, "Ayo, my bull Rodney, my crypto journey out here killing it again. What up? I'm back here to deliver that fire. Like, what's up, El Diablo? How you doing, baby? Shib and bone to the moon. Let's go. Smash the algorithm push-ups in the old like button. Let's go. 50. Yeah, 50, 50, 25. Let me put a poll. Let me put a poll out real quick. Let me put a poll. Let's do a poll real quick. I smashed the like button. We're at 57 likes. Interest rate, like prediction. 2 0 25 BPS 50 BPS. All right, poll's out. Poll is good. Vote. You think 0? I appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you. Yeah, if there's one thing I do keep it around here, what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you guys or bullshit you. Pretty candid and honest. I want a one. God damn. Ain't happening. Want a $4 Bitcoin? What's up, Zayla? How you doing, baby? Today's show showed what crypto can do. The future is bright. It can, but it just seems all artificial to me. None of it seems real. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's like everything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just nuts. 6.1. So you think it'll be 6.1? What do you guys think? 6.0. That 6.1's even big, right? He means that you pretty much have to pay attention with the Federal Reserve. You have to see what the money printers are doing. Money printer goes on, stocks go crazy. They turn the money printers off, There's no money in the market, right? Bro. You know? So WAGMI doing some big things, man. Let's see how some of our smaller cryptocurrencies are doing. Saitama up 9% of the day. WAGMI up 7% again. Dude, WAGMI's been sending. Tectonic up sending. Whoa, Volt sending. Of course, the entire market sending. The product I'm a part of is down. Volt's down. Everything up. Bone up barely. Everything else is sending. Nice. Man, WAGMI, Saitama, and Tonic are leading the way. On the BBC Make-A-Wish price. Wait, what do you mean, J. Michael? Garrett Strong says the white horse is. What does that even mean, Garrett? El Diablo says the rate hike will not be above 25. I'm feeling a flat 0. Mark my words. It's how could they do 0 though? The last inflation report, it looks so sticky. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings, right? We'll see what tomorrow brings, but we'll see. Do have a look at Synergy DAO? No. WAGMI gonna explode because of SHIB meta. Wait, what did they do with SHIB? Hold on. What did they do with SHIB? Did they do something with SHIB? Partnerships are good for the space. Hold on. What does that mean? Team WAGMI expands game leadership with former electronics art senior. Wait, what are we talking? What are we talking about here? It feels good to have a bag of WAGMI, bro. It feels good to have a bag of WAGMI, dude. If this thing goes like $1 billion market cap, see ya, peasants. What? I can't hear you over this money. Just kidding. We have a lot of moonbags, guys, and I trust Ian and fucking Scott. They'll make it work, bro. They'll make it work. What's up with the SHIB thing? People keep saying something about a SHIB thing. SHIB meta is called WAGMI. Wait, what? Oh, we are going to make it? Oh, because WAGMI is a common term in crypto, though. WAGMI was a term in crypto before WAGMI games. So, if you guys didn't know that. SHIB still... No, they did not. What's up, Mr. J? How you doing? Aldo says, I only say 0 to the fact that helping this already fired up the ball of flames, rather to catch fire and let it run and happen. No, we can't, dude. We can't. We cannot be like, oh, fuck it. You know? No, the Federal Reserve, they have a job to do. They got to do that job. Wait, who's this? Who put this video out? SHIB Planet? Hold on. 6 p.m. Or my bad, not 6 p.m., but 6.
Welcome back to SHIB Planet.
What the fuck is this shit? Hold on.
Which is happening at the moment, and we're going to see a number of images which were released. It says here, if you're in Austin, stop by SHIB the Metaverse booth, and then there's an early alpha experience of the WAGMI temple for the media. So anyone who's there is going to get to see exclusive access to see some full 3D experiences of SHIB the Metaverse. And here are some of the...
Guys, WAGMI is a term used for crypto like forever. We are going to make it. The WAGMI Defense stole that from... They didn't stole it, but they used it for WAGMI games. So, because I remember, I think, what is Coinbase? Is it Coinbase has WAG? Someone has WAGMI like their like bio. Is it Coinbase? Just having WAGMI crypto. I have WAGMI games here, but no, it's all like trade WAGMI.io. Yeah, but WAGMI was a term. It was a term used like outside of crypto forever. We see it like all the different prices though everywhere, but yeah, it was Coinbase, right? Yeah, it was Coinbase. Yeah, so WAGMI is an old term used. Yeah, but it is yeah, because I remember that because I remember Classic Crypto was never an influencer on the WAGMI team at all. First of all, we'll talk about this in a little bit later, but WAGMI was in a fucking Classic Crypto wasn't an influencer, and I remember he said WAGMI one day. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And now you click the hashtag, and it's like it's been a term used in crypto forever. And Coinbase had it in their bio. I hope WAGMI will pump because of that. But first of all, one of the degenerates' mother passed away. So if you guys are on Twitter, I'm going to leave this post up here. You guys leave some nice words for Selmo, of course, longtime degenerate, but his mother did pass away today. So just it's Selmo Fudd. He's in the chat. So if you guys know Selmo, just send him some prayers, some condolences, whatever you do, and just a tough time for anyone to lose their mother. So D-Gens are here. We always ride or die with our own. So just go in there and let them know you're thinking about them in this tough time. So rest in peace, Mama Selmo. Much love from the D-Gens. But yeah, WAGMI is a term being used forever. Yeah, so WAGMI, the name was because of the crypto thing. Oh, the episode, the Fed is not our friends. They absolutely do nothing to operate in our favor. And for fuck, can anyone disagree? Yeah, no, dude. The government doesn't care about its peons. That's a tale as old as time in any government. You know what I mean? Any government, like ever, like literally, like any government ever, like there's always peons and there's always elites, right? And we're just the peons, and we're just we're the guys. We're the cog. You know what I mean? We're the cog in the machine. I mean, some of us are like bigger and more successful cogs and those sorts of things. I get that, but yeah, rip Mama Selmo. All right, I know Jayhawk wants me to stay on a little longer, guys, but I'm just doing an hour tonight. But I will see you in the morning. So do me a favor, smash that like button before you take off. I know. Come hang out on the Telegram. I'll be in there dirtling around for you guys for at least like an hour or half an hour, something like that. Sorry, Jayhawk. You got to get here on time, buddy. But make sure to click that link and go send Selmo. You know what I mean? Some prayers and condolences. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Love you guys for riding with me, even on a late night. And it looks like I just got to bring back the late night stream. So tomorrow we'll be sending another late night stream. Wednesday, probably a little later too. I have another channel called Simp Seminars that Jake's coming over Friday night because he's going to spend the night. He's helping a friend down here move. So Jake's going to stay the night Friday. So maybe we could do like a dual Simp Seminar stream. What do you guys think about that? Bring it back. First stream of Simp Seminars. We got some wild story for you guys. Some wild stories. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. We'll talk about that all a little later. You guys have a fantastic night, and I will see you tomorrow morning with a big critical day and for crypto. Don't miss it, guys. Peace.